today we're talking about this card, Trust Your Inner Knowing. Certainly one of my favorite topics to talk about is this connection to your intuition. When you have a look at this card, you'll see that we've got this woman who's got a tattoo on her arm showing her way to true north. So we're not looking at a compass, we're not using something external to find our way to north. She's almost using her own direction, her own ability to navigate life. And that really is what our intuition is. Intuition is a word that means inner knowing. And when we can trust ourselves to navigate life by our inner knowing, then we can start to walk the truth of our own path. What I mean by walk the truth of our own path is you can never be in the wrong place, you can never be doing the wrong thing. But sometimes we are navigating and making choices and decisions in life by something external to us, or something other than our truth, something other than our inner knowing. So what could these be? We could make choices and decisions of what we're doing in life by what other people think is important for us. This is typically called people pleasing. What is it that keeps me regarded by others, approved of by others? And I navigate my life to make sure I'm approved of and I'm safe in the world of other people's opinions of me. And it's an illusion, really, because, other people are always going to have an opinion of you, no matter what you're doing. But we seek approval somehow, and we make choices and decisions to do that. The other thing we can be doing is we could be making decisions and choices in our lives based on our fear. So what is it that we think we need to do to stay safe? And this could be any number of fears. And so the fear can interfere with our inner knowing. It can get in the way. And when we understand this, we can start to navigate our own choices in life through these three lenses. Is a decision or choice that I'm making based on what other people are telling me to do, or what other people think of me, or what I think other people want me to do? Am I making this choice or decision because I'm scared and I'm trying to avoid feelings fearful? Or am I making this decision because it's really what is truthful for me? And understanding that this is a layering kind of concept is we typically have three choices we can ever make in any moment. The one based on the external, the one based on our fear, and the one based on our truth. And so choices and decisions require us to be able to connect in with our intuition. Now, what's really interesting is I talk about it as the layering concept. The intuition, the truth, is your first instinct. It's the thing that comes up the quickest. But then we analyze it, and then we deal with our fear, and then we worry about what other people think, and then we often navigate it from these choices. And so living our lives by inner knowing, trusting our intuition, is being able to connect in with that moment of what it is that I need to do. So we can ask a question, and there's a first answer that comes up very quickly in a couple of seconds. That's the answer to start trusting in your life. Yeah. And your intuition will never ever steer you wrong. It can't take you in the wrong direction at all. It doesn't often feel like it's the right choice though, because when I position it against the things I'm fearful about, and I position it against the things that I think other people want me to do, it looks wrong. So it takes an immense amount of presence and courage to be able to trust your inner knowing. The reason I say it takes presence is because often we are numb to that first instinctive response. And in order to do that, we have to be quite present in our body, because our intuition, our inner knowing comes up. It's information that flows up to us, not down. There's a big difference between I get information from my mind and when I get information coming up from my intuition. So it's this ability to stay connected in your body. If you're only in your mind, then you're never going to be able to connect with that intuitive response. And so our physical body houses this, and being present enough to how I feel in my body and what that gives me is a really important way to access my inner knowing. There's a slight caveat to this, because within your physical body is also your fear. And so we need to understand fear is that sort of gut feel. And the way to discern the difference between whether something is coming from a place of fear or from a place of your intuition is how tense your body gets. When you're coming from a place of intuition, your body softens. When you're coming from a place of fear, your body tenses up. You can feel it, like your stomach gets in a knot when you're coming from a place of fear. When you're coming from a place of intuition and there's a calmness to it, then your stomach relaxes. And so the presence is starting to notice how this is your navigation system. And constantly there's a feedback loop to you of what it is you are doing and whether it's serving you and whether it's coming from a place of your intuition or a place of your fear. The other thing I said is it's courageous. Your intuition comes from the calling of your heart and the calling of your soul. What is it you are here to do? You know, if I hadn't listened to my intuition, I'd still be sitting in a bank doing head of finance. I'd be doing financial work every day. And I'd be probably very successful and probably making a lot of money and doing things that, are boring to me, not necessarily to everyone. But that would have been a path that I would follow because it's the path that I knew what to do. My intuition kept asking me to take a leap of faith and go a completely different direction in my life. My intuition is what told me I needed to end my marriage. My intuition is what tells me to do these podcasts, for example. And so the ability to actually just do what comes up, it takes a lot of courage because it's disruptive sometimes. It changes courses. It changes direction. Because if I'm navigating my life by one mechanism and suddenly I want to navigate my life by my truth, there may be a course correction that is necessary in that journey. That's on the big scale, but on the small scale, your intuition is also there to keep you very safe. And so if we look at people that have been hurt in life, often their intuition told them not to go somewhere or to go left instead of right or to do something, and they overrode their intuition. This doesn't make it okay what happened. It just means that there is a navigation system in your life that is here to serve you, and the ability to connect with it is your job. In order to practice connecting with your intuition, when you're making a decision, you can ask yourself 3 questions. My head says, my heart says, my truth is. And if you just answer those 3 questions, you'll start to see where your truth is lying. In order to develop your intuition, you can start what would be very cool as like an intuition diary. And just start to track what are the internal nudges you get. What are the messages you're getting in terms of what it is that your intuition is calling you to honor. And you can start tracking the decisions you're making in a day and when your intuition is serving you. It is a presence and a courageous act to be able to work with your intuition. Sending you lots of love. Namaste.
Get your very own deck of I Am Lightwalker cards straight from Taryn by visiting iamlightwalker.com/cards.